enough to win this battle. Let's go.
Come on, Snowman. Back to work.
Must hurry, okay? People are dying. See you down there.
All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm.
All right, namaste and like catch my family and welcome. We have a special surprise. Listen, I don't know if you guys knew. I said special guest, and I'm bringing in, the big dogs, the big cannons of disclosure on this planet. JP, what's up, my brother?
What's up, Rion? How you doing? I'm proud to be here to bring the beautiful information, the light, the frequency that we all need, and let's do it, baby.
I know. There's so much information coming out when this, especially in 2024, 2025, and a lot of this stuff, I always like to, not only meet people, hang out with people like my boy, our mutual friend Riggs, Tony Rod Riggs.
Yeah.
I really like the vibe, dude. And like, he was like, dude, JP's fire. And I was like, all right, then we have to have him. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people on this planet, and I really like the people that learn and experience things in real life. You know what I mean? Like themselves. Like, I was there. This is what I saw. This is what I can tell you. I really appreciate that. And I think experiencers is really where this is at. So, JP, I know that, you've got a lot of this is going to be a big year for you. You know what I mean? It's going to be, you got a lot. Yeah, go ahead. Tell everybody what you got going on.
It's going to be a big year for us, for the United States, things are moving, and I know that we have been waiting for this for a long time, for this type of disclosure. So everything that's happening is drip dropping, but it's happening, and it's going to become a normality for a lot of people. So yeah, I'm happy for 2025. What's going to come,
So what are some things that you feel in your experiences that you have experienced, obviously, when you were with the Army, why don't you give everyone a little breakdown of who you were, like someone who's never seen you before? Like, I know how legit you are. Why don't you go ahead and explain a little bit, like how you got this information and who you are? You know what I mean?
Well, I use JP, it's a nickname to protect me from my real identity, because I have been through experiences that, I don't think a lot of people have been, but, I think a couple of civilians or a couple military people have been through it, but I guess they don't have the green light as much to talk about the information that they've been through. So my first experience actually happened in upstate New York. I followed this orb outside in the winter, and I went to the woods, and everything froze. I closed my eyes, opened my eyes. I ended up back in my bedroom. I was only in my boxers. And then the second experience I had really opened up the doors on what was happening in Brazil. I went to Brazil to meet my wife's family, and I went to a farm where there's not a lot of light pollution. You can see the constellation is beautiful, South America. So I went to this farm, and then at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, outside the window, I see like a flash of blue light, and I'm like, "What the heck is that? What the heck?" So I woke up. I didn't have shoes, and it was similar like a deja vu. Of what happened in New York. I started walking out. I walked over like a creek, a little bridge, and I got close to this type of ship that was glowing. And I'm looking at this ship, and I'm like, what the heck is this? The size of a minivan. And I approached it, and when I started touching it, my whole hairs on my body started going up. And then I had like a metallic taste in my mouth that I did not understand what the heck it was. Then I closed my eyes, I opened my eyes, and I was back in the bed in the farm. And you can see my footprints walking back. The dirt over there is red, dark red. So you can see my footprints like coming back and going to the bed, and my feet was like dirty. My wife was like, "What? Where the heck were you at in the middle of the night?" I was like, "I don't know." So when we came back to the States in Tampa, and I used to walk to work. I got picked up by this white van. They sat me down, they tied me down, they took me into this like corridor white place, and they started interrogating me, saying, "Hey, we know what happened in Brazil. We need to know the specifics and this and that." And I'm like, "F off! Like, who are you guys? Like, why you guys are picking me up? What's going on?" So they kept
I
doing that.
would
They
be
kept
the
picking me
same
up.
way. I would be the same way. It's like, yo, what is this, and why? Who are you? What is going? Is this before you joined the military?
Yeah, yeah. It was
Okay,
well a part of the military,
okay.
and I was still a civilian, so I didn't know nothing about military.
When was
Uh,
this? Like in 2000,
2008 around there.
2008. Okay, got it. Okay,
So I actually I called Doc for the first time. I didn't know who Doc was because I wanted to know what the heck was happening to me. So I told him about my experience. I told him about what happened, and he was really interested. And from there on, the history of Dr. Sala and JP give him the information to Dr. Sala happened. So I kept getting picked up, getting picked up. I got picked up by a oval type of ship in the parking lot in Tampa, heading towards my job. And there was this like Indian guy dressed up like in nice clothes. And this egg-shaped ship, like if you turn it around, it looks like a type of Tic Tac. So it's crazy how when the Nemets happen and all that crap happened. So I'm like, what the heck is happening to me? This is insane. Like if people go through this, they want to live with their life. Like what's going on? So I get picked up, or they tell me, hey, and this time we're gonna fly a ship, so you need to take a picture of it or take a video and bring this information out. I'm like, what? Like, I'm not understanding. And then you see the TR-3B flying. I take my phone, I take a picture of it, and I send it to Dr. Sala. And we even made it in the Tampa Bay Times with these pictures, and it went like mainstream, like in between when Trump was going into office. That all this was happening.
right. Okay.
So from there, I didn't want this no more. These experience and all that. I didn't want it. So I thought moving from Tampa to Orlando would do that job, but it looked like it intensified it. So I'm like, shit. Uh, I'm sorry if I
It's
said the F word.
no, it's all right.
Um,
As you're speaking, the one thing I can say is that a lot of star seeds, angelics, the 144, you know, once you are born and incarnate here with that specific energy signature, once you kind of signed up for that soul path. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
really, it's almost like your purpose showed up to the physical, and you're like, I'm not prepared to deal with this. You know what I mean? But there's a very special reason, and I almost guarantee not only are you a starseed angelic or one of the 144, but your energy signature is such of being in service that, you know, a lot of what they speak about with why are some people contacted, right, and some people aren't. Why are some people even in the military, why do they have these experiences and the other dark hearts don't? I think that you've been governed for this not only in this life but in past lives. It just kind of caught up to you here. You're like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. This is too much information, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. You know, and people also need to understand that this is a generational thing. My father went through an experience in Puerto Rico prior from me. He saw a big ball of fire coming out from the water. He interacted with him. Time changed, and he said he don't talks about it no more. Like he can't talk about it no more. But he told me this experience, and I'm like, okay, so that's where it comes from because in your DNA, you have the history of your ancestors and the history of what they went through. So um, this is a generational thing. So there's a lot of people out there that goes through these types of experience, and sometimes they're just blocked. They don't see it. But when they become unblocked, like what's happening now to millions of people around the world when they're seeing these drones, these spacecraft flying in, and a lot of videos are being taken, and what's happening around the world with the drones, and certain things that are happening that are making disclosure come faster. That's when people realize that, yeah, this is the real deal. This is happening. It's not no more tin foil hats. And yeah, it's my experience. I think if people go through what I went through, Rion, they will go berserk. Like they will go nuts. I think you
no,
need to have a type of
yeah, bro.
control your mind, and they look for people like that can control their heart, their mind, their frequency, and bring this information out the way it's supposed to be.
There's a lot of my third eye came on in 2009, and you know the first time it came on, obviously, I think it was in '01 when I was 19. My third eye turned on. I wasn't ready for it. I went back to sleep for 10 years. 2009 when my third eye came back on, and I remember just kind of interacting. It's almost like you're playing a video game character, meaning that
Yeah,
you're seeing through the reality, you're seeing through the matrix,
yeah,
and you realize that everyone else isn't. You're like playing in
yeah,
a different video game. And I think a lot of people go through that. And, you know, what I like to say with people when they actually have these experiences, and, especially those that can see through the third eye and are living with it, because that's going to be the norm. People, their pineal glands are going to activate, your dormant DNA is going to activate. I think
yeah,
a lot of jobs down here is to explain, hey, you're going to see some things. Not like maybe, but when you see some things, let's get some clarity on this. Let's get
hmm
some clarity on this. So people aren't just go right into fear. You know what I mean? Right into anxiety, right into the pharmaceutical place, and they're popping pills to turn themselves off. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because there are a lot of really gifted people out there that have experienced a lot of things. And I think this multidimensional reality, we know the walls are thinning. We know that
hmm
disclosure has caught up. And
yep,
even the most sleeping person right now, is waking up. They're like, hey, they're starting to question their reality. That being said, I want to, send my condolences and my love for all of those affected by the fires,
yeah,
in California right now.
uh,
And, and there's a lot of changes that are happening on the planet. And listen, I don't want to go into that right now. I want to talk about you, my boy,
yeah,
JP. But I was going to say, we all know there's some bullshit going on, and that's all I'm going to say about it. And we can talk about that, another time. So, JP, for all the people that don't know, can you give a little history of your military service? Because because you're not just wearing fatigue. Someone's like, "Who's JP?" I'm like, "No, this dude was in the military, right?" You want to explain a little bit about that?
yeah. I was in the
And
military in the U.S. Army. I can't tell you the unit
no, it's fine.
where I'm from, but I served and I worked in different parts of the military. I worked in NASCIAs that deals with NASA. I worked with different militaries around the world, and um, I was a 91 Juliet, and I was another MOS as well that I can't disclose, but um, MOS is my occupation. So I dealt with anything that has to do with chemicals, and I dealt also with I can transform any type of water to drinking water as well. So that was my specialty in the army. So from there on, when I went to Orlando, and somebody approached me and said, "Hey, we need you to join." I'm like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "We need you to join in order to have more access." So I went. I passed my ASRAP. They gave me the date to go to the military, to the army, to training. Uh, I went to my training. I went to Fort Jackson. Then I went to Fort Lee. And then I went to Fort Benning. And then the other units I'll just leave in the future for me to say that. But it was a good 5 years. I had a lot of experiences. Some of the experience felt like if it was like you said, like if it was like you enter into another zone,
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, you're going through this, I'm going through this. Are we all right? Yeah, we're all right, we're okay. Okay, so let's keep on grinding. So
Right.
I had this guy, right? He's been working with me for a long time. He gives
Mhm.
me the green light to come out with this information. So
Mhm.
I'm not, it's, due to like the security of this beautiful country that I love so much. I can't say certain things, but the things that they tell me to say, you know, so they give me the red light or the green light to talk about my experiences and about my missions that I had. So it's I think it could be hard on people, on the military people, having these experiences and not talking about it. I
Right.
think that's where the
No, hey, that's
PTSD
true. That's true,
or
man.
or things happen that
Mhm.
they turn berserk and other things happen. But you just have to have control. If you don't have control, it can overwhelm you and you can just disappear.
Right. And
Literally disappear.
so
They
basically,
disappear you.
they disappear you. So yeah, hey, when you sign that contract in your property, that means that you're property. You know what I mean? People in the
Yeah.
military
You're,
know that.
you're real, and this is forever. A
Mhm.
soldier is always a soldier.
Right.
So
So that being said, I feel the vibe of where when you meet someone, you're like, so what's the vibe, dude? Dude, it's like mixing people that have real experiences in the military, dealing with ET tech, real stuff. I mean,
yeah.
your expose with Dr. Michael Sala, which is fantastic on the
Hmm.
space arcs, what everything that's going on. So for people that are new listening to JP, what I realize what this Marvel team up is the spiritual intuition of not only I'm already feeling why you were chosen, dude, because a lot of us out there that are in this, I would say there's a lot of galactic fed people in the civilian population being activated and no one wants to talk about it. I think there are like really gifted people that all of a sudden they're being switched on. It's almost like you got to play a character for 35 years, 40 years. I'm a little SimCity character, right? All these
Hmm.
80s towhead kids, right? And then all of a sudden something changes. It's almost like your
Yeah.
higher self gets in the suit or your trajectory just changes. Just like when you got, like, hey man, you need more clearance. You
Yeah.
got to join the military because your energy signature, who you are, and how you're going to express this. Another thing too for people to realize is all of our higher selves, especially in this 3D, we experience it linear. As far as them seeing our future trajectory, they knew that JP would come out. They knew that he could handle it, and they knew that he would be a voice to bridge that military and civilian world. So, hey, no no stress, no responsibility.
They knew, Rion, that this
Yep,
interview was going to happen. So
100%.
that's the thing too, bringing this information out. Like people are already seeing it, Rion. Like, look what the hell is happening all over the place. You know,
We need answers, and in a grounding way that's not like, hey, this just happened yesterday. No, it's like, bro, I've been dealing with this for 5 or 10 years. Let me go ahead and pump the brakes. Let me explain what this is. Let me explain what that is. Let me explain who are the people that have been doing it that you're just now aware of. They've been doing this shit for quite some time, probably since the
yeah,
inception of Solar Warden. We're just now aware of it.
yeah.
So with some of the stuff that you want to speak about at the Rise of the Guardians, this is for the Rise of the Guardians conference. You know what I mean? JP is going to be on stage. You guys can ask him. We'll have all kinds of little questions we can have all the audience members ask before. But with JP, what are some of the things you find is like with all these distractions right now, with the know-how and what you've seen experience in these military bases from the spacecraft that they're like, hey, you want to go to the moon? You're like, nah, bro, I'm good. To the space arcs, you're like, this is crazy. There's Mayan dudes doing chants and entering through portals. From all the stuff that yeah, you know what I mean? From all the stuff that listen, I processed, I got almost like a photographic memory if I get an audio and a video. From all the stuff that you've experienced, for people in the civilian world right now, how do we get them from here to working towards opening their minds to be able to take a deep breath into, oh shit, this is what this reality really is? I've always known everyone's very smart and intuitive. They've already known that things are kind of, people see the Mandela effects and glitches in the matrix and all this control stuff, but in how you've balanced yourself, what are some of the routines, or what are some of the things that you've done to be able to hold that content and still live, a happy, blissful life? You know what I mean? That's really the magic. How did you do it? Like, what's your daily routine look like? How are you processing your dream time? What does that look like for JP?
I'm really, really spiritual. I believe in interdimensional. I believe in the spirituality. I believe that we have to really get into who is the creator. Because this is real. The unseen is freaking real, Rion. Change your frequency. Also change the way you eat. Let me tell people, your audience, something. Learn your blood type and learn what type of food your blood type needs. You know, the science of that is crazy. The frequency of foods and all that. So, learning how to eat the way your body needs. That's one way. And also, because the chemical imbalance also is the type of thing that messes you up and makes you react the way that you react. Deworm. Uh, Also, find people, like-minded people like yourself. Uh, that talk about the same thing. Don't go to the negative vibration of negative people. Share a lot of love. Share a beautiful vibe. Just live your life um, sharing your experiences, because there's a lot more people out there that are going through the same thing. So once you put that in your head, right, and you know that yes, there's other people. I see other people going through the same missions, but they're not talking about it. But I get to talk about it because somebody tells me, "Hey, you have to talk about this and just say these certain words. Don't say this, but say this." So it's not that I'm controlled still. It's just I'm being protected in a certain way. So
Yes.
I think when you feel protected, and you know that you are protected, I think you have a better freedom in sharing this type of information. So if I wouldn't feel protected, trust me, I wouldn't be on. And also, I wear a helmet, as everybody see,
Mm,
But I believe that there's certain frequencies that come in when I try to give this information out. I
mm,
feel sometimes if I don't have my helmet, there's certain frequencies that come in and try to disturb my
100%.
information. So
Mhm.
it's not like a tinfoil hat, but it's a
Well,
it helps me
to help
protect.
a lot of the to help a lot of the people too that are ex-military, like that's kind of my forte, right? So the sunglasses, the headphones, always kind of plugged into a different frequency. What I can say is when the frequencies come at you, pay attention. Is it coming from the right side, right? It might be opposite on this computer, or the left. For me, my heart is on my left. For me, the more healing, protection things are going to come from the left.
Mhm.
99% of the time on the negative thoughts, the don't talk about that or don't share your truth, is always going to be coming from the right.
Okay.
So right is night, left is light. And I think that with a lot of the military people out there, your heart's on your left for a reason. You know what I mean? It's not random. Even though they're saying
Mm.
now there's people being born with their hearts in the middle, I don't know what I don't know what that
That's
is.
some Mandela type of
That's a
thing that's
Mandela.
happening.
That's some timeline shit. But I do feel that helps at least in knowing. Okay, I'm being affected right now. You know what I mean? Right now, okay, I'm about to say something or do something. And I think a lot of people in the spiritual community need to pay more attention. I know you were kind of like, I mean, I know you've been in this, but I mean, you were really a part of real things. And I
Yeah.
think that, yeah, real shit. Like I landed on a space ark and we went down inside of it and it's in the Atlantic Ocean. And there's space arcs all over the planet. Can you explain? Because it's such a cool thing for me. And it's also something that is a remnant of something like almost in our DNA. We remember when these space arcs were active long time ago, right? In our
Yeah.
DNA. There's got to be a reason why the same drivers are showing up and incarnating. I got it. I can't tell you how many times when I listen to you or when I see other people talk about, the down spacecraft and why they don't have the proper energy signature, right? I'm always like, well, they were never supposed to play with that in the first place. You know what I mean? I have this
Yeah.
like weird thing, like you were never supposed to play with something that you weren't aware of what it is. I think there's only
Yeah.
certain people on this planet that have the proper energy signature to access certain things based upon the fact that they were probably the ones that put them there, or they have the clearance from their species or race to activate that. So with some of that cool stuff, I just want to give some people like a little more. I'm trying to like open up the JP box.
Yeah.
JP, that people don't know. They're like, who's the dude in the mask? I'm like, bruh, this dude's been on a space arc. Calm, sit down. It just pumped the brakes on all your speculation. Tell them about the space arcs a little bit, just a little snippet, because I think people that have never heard of what a space arc is, like how many are they there? Where are they? Kind of just a little breakdown of what they are, because I really find those interesting. And I kind of see that those are going to be a part of our future when these big ships show up all over the place. Were they already
Yeah.
here? Are they just coming up out of the ground and out of the ocean? And they're like, oh my God, they're here. They were here the whole time. Can you explain a little
Yep.
bit about that?
Yeah, these space arcs. We got one in the Atlantic. We got another one in the Pacific. We got one in Brazil. We got one in Ukraine. We got another one, a huge one that Alex Curlier was talking about it in Greenland. And look what's happening in Greenland right now. Uh, we got Antarctica, and then we got a lot more of other miscellaneous small ships scattered around India, Afghanistan that people call so-called vimanas, but these are the scout ships. And also we have coming out from these arcs as well. We got types of orbs coming out from the oceans as well. But there's other governments around the world that have a similar technology that can manipulate anti-gravitational gravity, um, gravitic, whatever you want to call that. So it's this information is coming out, and these different technologies are going to come out that we're finding in the arc. What people need to understand about the arc, that all these arcs, there's a couple of these arcs on Earth, but they all look the same. They're all like have the same rooms. Like if these arcs were made somewhere else, like in a massive scale. So if we have scientists in the Pacific and scientists in the Atlantic going into the same arcs, right? They talk to each other. Hey, did you find this in this room? Yeah, I found this in this room. What's in the other room? Oh, in that other room is this, and that. So it's I think it's a joint thing that's happening right now with the world. So a lot of people are working together on finding out, and on top of that, we got the Nordics. Also, these ET beings that are helping us out how to figure out like the process of. I know for a fact they know what these arcs are, but they can't just give us the full information. They want us to figure it out. Like they know, but they want us to figure it out. They can't give us the because it has to do with time and temporal and some crazy quantum entanglement, vibration frequency kind
The
of thing.
timelines have to cross at exactly the right moment for the jumps or for the leaps. Let's just say that it's everything's timing.
Yeah, everything is time. So what these arcs are, it's every religion. If you read up on them, they talk about an arc.
Mhm.
And they're just massive seed banks, and they have um, these arcs have cultures throughout our 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 world, right?
Mhm.
Each civilization that visit these arcs left behind their writings, left behind their information of
Mhm.
their past, right? And
Got it.
we don't know where these civilizations went. So now is our turn. We're entering these arcs. We're putting in um, our information. I'm not saying nothing bad is going to happen. I don't want to fear porn everybody, but
No, no, no. I feel you. Hey, listen, we know the sun is booting up, right? We know these solar flares are happening. I got friends all over the world that send me the solar activity. We got times where it goes off and it's so high it just blacks out and then starts again. We know that there are anomalies happening right now. I've always asked myself that question. I think a lot of people have, like, what happened to the Maya? And the Maya, right, and the Hopi are connected as the same, genealogy. And then
yeah,
when you were talking about the mantids, bro, or I would say the ant people in Florida,
yeah,
and the benevolence, bro. Here's my thing. Okay, are they waiting for a critical mass to assist? Are they assisting now? Because what I'm trying to get is like a head count, like of all the rad
they
beings,
they
like of
are
all the
assisting.
beings here. Go ahead.
Mhm. No, go ahead.
No, so out of all the beings here, I'm kind of seeing like almost like coach. I'm like, who's participating? I'm like, JP, you talked to the ants, right, in Orlando. Hey, are they like are they in or are they sitting on the bench? Like I'm like, who's talking to the beings in Telos? I'm just curious because a lot of beings down here are like, yo, where is everybody? Right? That's like if
Yeah.
people don't know in the civilian world, like maybe you guys are watching from up on space or in a dumb space right now, watching this interview. What I'm trying to get to is like if we're like let's just say the median of the civilian intelligence and consciousness, right? As soon
Mhm.
as you start asking questions, you're like, okay, so if these beings exist, bruh, like, where are they? You know what I mean? Like, if these beings, who are they helping? Because, when you go out and you're out in your city, you're not seeing all this help that is supposedly taking place.
Yeah.
However, what people have to realize too is that a lot of this stuff is happening in dimensionally on this planet. Danon
Yeah.
talks about it, and they're cleaning up the fourth dimension. The fifth, there's all this stuff going around you. It's almost like a hurricane is going
Yeah.
around you, and the physical, you can't see it, you can't be
Mhm.
aware of it. So maybe explain a little bit about who's helping, what's going on, and like what's happening right now.
I think the Federation of Worlds. I think they're helping out. When I say Federation, I think there's different types of ETs are involved. Also, the interior of our Earth, we have also different types of people that live down there that are also they've been visiting and people for ages, for a long time. And I believe that disinformation of these different types of civilization, these smart people that live in the inner earth. You know, I don't like. I like to call them ETs sometimes, but they're people. They're like us. You know, they have their own frequency. You know, they have their own beliefs systems, but sometimes they don't want to mingle with humanity because we can be nuts sometimes. Rion, um, look what's happening around the world. You know, we have kids killing their parents, parents killing their kids. You know, and wars. We got, you know, imagine if this like technology falls in the wrong hands. You know, look what happened to the atomic bomb with Japan.
Right.
You know, and we have technology that can change the world, but depending on who's
Who's
holding the
behind the
control,
wheel? Mm-hmm.
yeah, it could be eliminating. It could be an extinction type of thing. You know, so they're just hesitant to share information, and also that's why they want us to just figure it out instead of them just giving it to us. You know, it's like teaching a kid. You know, they fall, you got to tell the kid, hey, get up, wipe your knees, and keep on grinding. You know, keep on going until you don't fall no more. You know, so we've been falling for so long, humanity. We've been falling so many times, and we got our knees are like to the bone, to the
Mm-hmm.
cartilage. You know, and right now, I think we're getting to a point that we are waking up, and we got our knee pads on this time.
No,
You know?
yo, I feel like we got knee pads on, we got shin guards, we got the
Yeah,
elbow pads. You know what I mean? Helmet. We're sliding into third. You know.
yeah.
Here's the thing,
We're
too.
gonna
Yeah,
learn.
yeah.
We're gonna learn this like for sure now. This information, and then on top of that, we got the negative black hats. That
That's what
don't
I
want
was
this
going to
to
talk
happen.
about, dude.
You know?
These guys with their agendas and these families and the want.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff is they
It's
got a head
demonic.
start.
It's demonic, Rion. It's freaking crazy. It's
Yeah.
insane. That's why I get in the spiritual realm too,
Yep.
because it's no joke what these people do. They they
100%.
they attract negative entities from a different realm, and these entities give you power in real life, like
Yep.
seriously.
Yep.
And people need to like really get into what is spirituality. Why do we have religion? Why do humanity have religion? Why? Because there is a place that we don't see and interacts with us. You know,
Right.
there's an uptick also of poltergeist activity all over around the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
People are in the rooms and things are just smashing down. Things are just moving. Doors are just moving, and they're like, "Oh, there's a ghost." No, it's just there's gates opening around the world, and these interdimensional worlds are just mixing into
Yep.
ours. And while they move up there, they're moving something right here, and we're like, it's a ghost, but is not understanding about the the complexity of these worlds mixing into each other,
Yes.
and now we do have the communication to connect with these people, and they're also having the same problem as we. Who are we? Who are they? And on top of that, you got the ETs as well that interact with their interdimensional people as well. It's a shit show.
Hey, listen, that's a shit show. Okay, so I'll try to again. I'm gonna try to separate some of these things. Okay, so religions were probably created to explain the unseen, right? And whatever and the unseen, historical things, and the unseen. Let's just say now that's a
I,
very
I, I
general
want I
term.
want people to understand. I'm Christian, man. I go to
Yeah,
church.
same. Yeah,
I go to church Sunday. I praise the Lord.
yeah.
Uh,
Hey, Yeshua is the man. Jesus.
yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel. Hey, Jesus,
It's
keep
it's
keep these weirdos out of my house, man. No.
but
Jesus, I got Grace trying to take my daughter out the window. Can you get down here, please? It's out of control. No, I get it.
but even the churches, they have bad people. So we just
Yeah.
when you go to church or when you go to a temple or religion, go for yourself, for your own frequency. Forget about the people and zone with you and the Creator. That's it.
Mm.
don't worry about other people, because other people are always going to bring you down and, oh, you sin and like, get out of here, go over there. I'm praying, like it's
No, I feel you. No, I feel you. And I know. And the thing too is that, so, I mean, for humanity, this is what I want kind of everyone to realize, those that are in their spiritual nature, is that I believe human beings at their core are good. I
yeah,
believe human beings at their core are innocent, pure, and just awesome, beautiful, divine beings of creation.
yeah,
That's what I believe. And I believe,
yeah,
since me and you have gone through this incarnation, how much programming have we gone through?
yeah,
How much shit, even for, we're little kids. I mean, we were born after the 60s, right? I mean, we're probably the 80s, 90s, maybe. And my thing is that the television is literally a mind control device. I mean, it's
yeah,
what it says in the patent. Look at the
yeah,
first patent of the television. It's just a mind control device. What I'm getting to is, I don't want everyone to go off the rails believing that these families per se have this power over you. What I can tell you is that someone got a head start. The
mhm,
industrial military complex got about 100-year plus head start on everyone else. And now they're up here and they're trying to dictate and hold on to a lot of power
mhm,
that wasn't supposed to be theirs in the first place. It was supposed to be shared with humanity. Can you imagine
yeah,
if just the Tesla papers were released 80 years ago? Can you
yeah,
imagine what this place would look like? If it just simple
indeed,
things. It's not. This is stuff you can look up. So I just want to be here to also say, for all those guys in the ex-military and stuff, there are very spiritual, powerful beings on this planet that are monitoring the game. I want
yeah,
to be crystal
totally,
clear with everything. Like, when people are suffering alone, you're not. Every single thing is being recorded on this planet. Every single action, every single energy. There's so much activity around this planet, and there's so many beings watching this game. You know what I mean? There's so many cameras on us right now from all dimensions and in
yeah,
this reality. Just want you guys to realize that, one, you're not alone, and to not go into the Debbie Downer fear bullshit, because guess what? The more you go there, the deeper you go. It doesn't stop. It's like an abyss. The
yeah,
whole point is, it's an abyss. The more you're going to fear, paranoia, anger, resentment, really the seven deadly sins, the more you go into that place, there is no floor. You'll just
yeah.
keep going down until you're like, I don't want to be here anymore. Take me out, right? One way or the other.
And then you
So
attract the negative. You attract the negative
all
beings,
that, yeah,
and they will mess around with you, Rion. Like they
100%.
will really like mess you up. They will really get into you and get out to you, make you do things that you don't want to do. It's real, man. It's
Yeah.
freaking real.
And I can say too, though, for all those beings doing naughty things on this planet, there's about 16 of these 72 dukes that are switching sides. So this whole fake format that these polarities are linked together, and this is the night side, and this is the light side, and this is the war. I'm trying to tell you, there are things going on right now at present where there are beings in these families, there are beings in these groups and in these energy signatures that are switching teams and joining the gold team. We like to call us the gold team, right? There's like the gold team and the blue team. We're going the gold team, creator team, the original creator of my soul team. Yeshua was my boy. You know what I mean? I don't know, but Yeshua was my boy. It's not even like, do you pray to Jesus? I'm like, no, that's my boy. I don't know what you're doing, but that's my boy. So, you know
And
what
that's
I'm,
the thing, we need to
yeah,
root for the gold team and make this golden age, that we
100%,
need to do. And
you know,
life can be hard, man. People they lose loved ones, but I think dying is not the end.
no,
I think
bro.
it's is an eternal. We are eternal energies. Yeah,
Listen. Some of us should have exited a long time ago. JP, we both had some. And guess what? They're like, your job's not over yet, son. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm almost. Some of us, they're like, you're not getting out of this game until we win. You know what I mean? Like, so I want to also say to people out there that have gone through negative experiences, unfortunately, I wish it wasn't true, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that being said, all these interactions and dealing with all these beings and all these things, maybe it's overwhelming at first.
hmm,
You know what I mean? Eventually, it's probably going to be like a scene out of Guardians of the Galaxy or Star Wars, where you walk into a bar and you see 15 different ET species at the bar, all doing the
yeah,
same thing. You know what I mean? Like, eventually, it's like, and right now, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they've been preparing you through movies and TV for how long? 100 years? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They're
Drip drop.
preparing you like, hey, we're not the only ones in the universe. You know what I mean?
They've been drip dropping a long time.
Okay, cool. So, what are some cool things? Okay, this is something I want to ask. This is the coolest beings you have met, like where you met them, what species they were, and what you learned from them. The top three. I know the ant dude's cool. You know the ant people. I know the dudes. I love when you talk about my homies from Pegasus, the Nords. You know, are we talking about? Is it always five guys showing up? Is there a female? Is there or is it a bunch of dudes? Where's all the female? Hey, you guys are great because I get these guys all night long. You know, in the Astro, I'm like, hey, listen, I get
Yeah.
the five. I get Thor Hand, Thor Cheese, and Thor Hunt. Do you guys have any females? Well, why am I talking? You know what I mean? Tell me some cool things that are uplifting and experiences that are positive that you've had.
Well, the Nordics, yeah, I experienced the Nordics. They act like the people from Star Trek, the Vulcans. They kind of act like that. I think that's where they probably got the idea from. And they have feelings, but they don't like to show it as much. So when they work, they're really precise and they're really like concentrated on their mission. You know, you can't talk them out from the mission. Once they start their mission, they have to finish their mission. Doesn't matter what. They'll, I like that from them that once they start something, they have to finish it. And they communicate using technology um, that can connect with your brain through a type of frequency that they have. So, our brain runs through frequency. So they can telepathically talk to us. And by different waves of like not radio, but different waves, they can like literally talk to you through their mind and our mind. That's kind of awesome. But the sucky thing about that is everybody that's around you that has that ability, you can't hide. They know what you're thinking. So
Hey, I'll give you a tip. You know what I do? I think of a color. They're all trying to read me. I go blue, blue. I just imagine everything blue. Like you know what I mean? Like
mhm,
whatever color you could choose. But that does help because I do have a lot of beings that want to know what we're doing and what we're thinking about. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Um, what I used to do is send another cool thing, JP. This is for you too. This is a little tip. Send movie clips. They think it's hilarious when they're trying to talk to you telepathically, and they're like, "What does it feel like?" And I'll just like play a movie of like Step Brothers. This is the salmon. I didn't order the salmon. And they're just like, is he playing movie clips telepathically? I'm like, oh yeah. So just try that. They're like, this little shit. He's sending us movie clips because then you get the audio instead of like, hi, I'm Rion and I'm a human. I just said movie clips that have like audio, video, CGI. I'm like, here's some of this. Chew on this. So they really like that. So just think about that. Like, like movie clips. You're like, fuck, I never thought about that. Yeah, you know what I mean. Just and then like like five guys walking in. Just anyways. I like how you make a lot of jokes.
Just don't share Independence Day.
Yeah. No. You got to do like just funny humor snippets. And then pause. It's like I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I'm like I can say cuánto. You know what I mean? I could go. You get out like the taxi's like cuánto. I could like fake it. I'll just it's like somebody plays the guitar. They know one song, but they know it really well. You're like, oh, you
Yeah.
see that guitar, you're like, and then you're like, and he kind of just set it down, and they don't know. They're like, can he play? Is he like masterful? Or and I'm like, I know half of one song,
My
but I
hand
play it
hurt.
very. You're like, oh, next time. So okay, so the Nords are cool. Keep going. You're crushing right now. The Nords are cool. Who else is cool?
Um, those are the only ones I really interacted. There's other ETs that I interact with. They're like Indian. They look like from India. I think they're scattered, but they also live on the moon, and they just really really don't know about Earth. I think they were there thinking that Earth was destroyed, some shit like that. Uh, they kind of look like Indians, but they have like a line in between, like that stops into their nose, like a skin. You know, we look at Chinese, how they look like. We look, you know, African Americans or people from Africa, how they look like. We
Right.
see Mexicans, how they look like. You know, they have different features in you know in the face.
Hey,
So these
Latinos are hot, bro. Latinos are hot. You guys out
yeah
there know. All
yeah
you guys out there in America, you got to watch out for those Latinas.
yeah.
Uh,
I married a Brazilian, so
hey, that's what
I
I'm
know
saying.
about that.
They got you. They got you. It's like
They got me.
passion. Passion. No, we're talking about ETs. Like I'm just trying to say. Okay. So here we got the Nords are cool. There's some other beings that look Indian, as from India. They've got a ridge, a line going down. They're cool. I don't want to get into the moon right now because there's so much I want you to share on
Yeah.
stage when you crush at Rise of the Guardians. But for all my audience, from everyone from here to South Africa, this is my brother JP. And, there's dudes out there that have experienced real things in the military. He is one of the beings, one of the people that have gone through some real stuff, seen real things, touched real things. And like,
Yeah,
like,
if
I'm just
people want
operating,
more, it's just Rion. It's like the experience is like so much. Like if people want more information about my experiences, they can go to exopolitics.org. Right there, Dr. Sala wrote 3 books, right, and it's talking about my experiences. And I think people will like the information that are on those books because half of that information none of this crap was happening, and then what's happening in the books is right now is just happening. It's like I'm not saying like a prophecy, but I'm saying like if you read the beginning, book 1, book 2, book 3, the process how everything happened, the history, and you see what's happening right now in the TV and around you, he's like, wow, dang, it's crazy. And then also, there's a link there that talks about all my experiences and my missions and all that.
yes.
So
No, I mean that's where I first saw you was, and the thing is that, in the beginning too, because listen, just because listen, for all the people out there that have an issue being on camera or public speaking, listen, it takes practice. When I was listening to your information, bro, and I was like, because I'm asking him, is this guy legit? And they're like, nah, dude, he's really there. And as soon as my guides told me about you, I was like, okay. And then it was like data dumping because everything you would say, I'm bringing it in, I'm processing it, I'm trying to view. That's what we do with one another. We try to put each other in each other's shoes because So it's like we are all one in 6 density unity consciousness. So I'm like, dude, what did JP experience? Oh shit! So these guys are over here, and this is going on there because there's so much information out there. The issue, I think, sometimes is to disclose it in a very grounded, practical way. So it's
yeah,
not just someone who's. I know a lot of guys in the SSP, dude, and when they're hanging out at the house, they're still emotionally unstable by what they saw. Like they're like totally normal, right? And then you ask them one question, and they start to like glitch out. You're like, oh, and what is that really? They haven't processed what they experienced yet. It's still like
yeah,
a raw nerve. You're like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? So once you've processed it, same thing with people when they awaken. It's weird. Or someone who let's just say you had a drug problem. Let's just say anyone who was in AA, right? It takes a while. When you first join AA, right? It's like very serious. This is AA. This is life. If you drink, you're gonna die. You know what I mean? Like it's very like hardcore, right? But
yeah,
as you go through the steps, and then obviously when you graduate that, eventually you can look at your experience and what you went through, and then you realize why you went through it. And then eventually you can start making jokes about yourself and how you know what I mean? Like there's I use that as an example, just saying that like when you go through gnarly stuff, it takes years
yeah.
sometimes
It
to
takes you.
process it out to go, oh, that's what I saw. This is what I was doing. So I just say for all those people out there that are going through stuff that have experienced real things, um, take that time, man, to get into the forest, get into the water, walk on the beach, meditate, steam room, sauna, work out. I know you're very athletic. What I'm trying to say is that just because you experience gnarly things, you also have to find a way to ground that back into a
Yeah,
place of balance, man. And that's the hardest part. You know what I mean? Because people come out and they see awesome things or crazy things happen to them, and then they go cuckoo, cuckoo. You know what I
And,
mean?
and
Go
it's
ahead.
good. It's good to put in your mind also that other people go through the same shit. You know, they go through the same thing. You know, once you have that in your mind, that once you're like traveling and you're walking into Walmart, right, and then you have an eye contact of somebody, and they eye contact you back, and with that sight, you already know they've been through a lot of stuff. You know, they've been through like crazy stuff. So, hey, what's up? My name is. Hey, what's up? Oh, I think I know you. Oh, I think I know you too. All right. You know, because when I go through these missions, Rion, everybody's wearing face protection. Everybody is scared when
Right.
they go through these missions because once you go through these experiences, you have people following you. You have people trying to get rid of you. I already have like 3 times that people tried to eliminate me
Mm.
um, in different ways. So you know,
You know.
I was talking to Emery Smith, and we are talking about the med beds and all that,
Mm.
and he was like, "Man, you gotta be, we have to be careful, you know." And but we're protected. We're protected. We
Yes.
are protected in bringing this information. So once you have that in your mind that you're protected, and this new administration also is going to be a plus, also for disclosure. You know,
Yes.
it's going to be amazing. The team that is coming out right now, you know, even though this past administration is trying to mess everything up prior from what's going to happen, but I think a lot of things are going to come to light. Technologies and space exploration and all that is going to be amazing. Rion, the experience.
Hey man, I don't know about you. I know you got thrown into the deep side of the pool, but I was like, put me in, coach. I feel like a monk up on the mountain. You know what I mean? Like the third eye came on. I've been dealing with this for 15 years, and I'm like, wait, why does JP get to go to the Ark? I'm like, what am I? What am I? It's almost, dude, it's so cool. But listen, I know you went through negative experiences, right? And you went through crazy shit, right? But check this out. I want to make you happy today. There's a lot of us that are like spiritually, like, you know, like I feel like Raiden. I'm like, oh, I can call it in clouds and all this stuff. And then I'm like, JP's like, hey man, so I was in the Ark yesterday and I'm walking by all the holograms. I'm sitting there going like, what is this? JP's in the Ark. You know, how many times I've like referenced you. I'm like, wait, let me get this straight. JP's talking to ant people in Orlando. Well, what's going on? What am I chop liver over here? No, what I'm saying is that you got to take your experiences, bro. I'm very proud of you, dude. I just want you to know that you're playing a very pivotal role in disclosure, and you're only gonna get better, dude. Hey, I see where you're going. Straight up, dude. Whatever. This is just, you know what I mean. You're going straight to the, and you already have things going on. You know, I don't want to disclose that here, but you already have some big things coming out for 2025. You know, if
Yeah,
you wanted to share that, you could. But I'm saying, hey, I've been waiting for you. You know what I mean? That, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, this is going to be some awesome.
I'll probably reveal my face in 2025. You know, once I know this administration is fully in.
Yes. Well, hey, listen,
They are fully in. You know, it's
listen,
amazing.
listen, some people were hotter with the masks on. You know, they took the mask off and you're like, whoa. With you, I think you're going to be like, listen, I've been waiting. You've been waiting to show this baby off. You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna be like Ray Mysterio Jr. You know.
Listen, I just don't want to see you on a calendar. You know, he's JP's flexing for the March photo. He's like, this is what it looks like. With that, bro, I just want everyone out there across the world to know disclosure's coming. Brothers like
Yeah.
myself and JP are here to help guide you guys and steer you guys with some of the information coming out, trying to keep it in a high vibe wave. The goal is obviously for this planet to ascend. The goal is obviously unity, and the goal is to really engage this golden age in a positive and blissful way. We are in the middle of the storm right now, but I just
Mhm.
want you guys to know to keep your eyes focused on that target of where we're going, and that's straight. You know what I mean? We're all going up. So I think all of us are playing a very pivotal role in that. And JP, it's been an absolute pleasure, bro, having you on this interview, dude. Hey, I'm excited for March, dude. You know, I'm like, hey, so for everyone who doesn't know, March 29th and March 30th in Sedona, Arizona, Rise of the Guardians conference. You can get those tickets at teamlightstore.com. There's going to be post-conference stuff as well, the 31st and into April 1st. Come on out, see JP. And JP, one more time. So if people want to get your books or learn more about you, check out, I love Dr. Michael Sala. Check out exopolitics.org. Is that where they go?
Yeah, exopolitics.org, and my information and my story, my missions are there, and people can get more information about, and if they do want to get more information, I don't got a problem, with certain people giving my DD-214, to show that, it's happening.
As far as I'm concerned, just the information alone and the data, because I really listened to you. You know what I mean? You were giving the details and this and that, and there's certain things that I could just tell. I'm like, no, that's someone who saw real things and is trying to break that down and explain it to someone. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to experience something. It's another skill set to be like, okay, let me break this down so it's totally crystal clear on what I saw. You know what I mean? There's two different things. People experience really gnarly stuff. Like, explain what you saw. And they're like, a flash of light. I saw, you know what I mean? Like, what did the ship look like? You're like, I was just staring at the light. I didn't see the look of the ship. So it takes time to process that stuff. And
it does. It's tough for a lot of people, Rion. It's tough. It's tough for these people that go through this. Some of them don't survive. They don't survive, and it's sad.
There's a lot of love and support.
You just need to have control. You need to have control and have that right frequency. If you don't, it could take over you, and you can get eliminated.
This is what I'm going to say just by you saying that. My part of my presentation that I'm going to do at Rise of the Guardians will be dedicated to all those beautiful people in the military that have gone through some, post-traumatic stuff. I'm going to explain some of the energetic techniques I do to protect myself and to clear my energies and whatnot, because I think it is so vital right now that people like you step forward, right, that have been behind this veil of secrecy and explain not only what they've experienced, but also we want to help them here at Team Light kind of wrap our wings around them. You know what I mean? And go, hey, let's get you guys,
high-ranking officers from the Navy calling me. I got high-ranking officers from the Army calling me saying, "Oh, thank you so much because of what you are doing." We go through the experience and we can't talk about it, but we know that you get the green light to talk about it. And it's like, it's a release that they feel when I talk about this information that, they're not going, they're going through the same thing. And it's a release for them that somebody else is like bringing this information out, and little by little, military around the world is going to bring out this information, and the ships are even going to get bigger.
Right.
I just gave an update with Dr. Salo. I don't know if you saw it about the submarine-looking UFOs, and then the week after, you start seeing these ships flying over São Paulo, Brazil, and it went mainstream. And I got like a million, 1,100,000 people following me on Instagram in views, and I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?"
Yeah.
So it's confirmation. A lot of things are coming out, and a lot of other speakers, like Tony Rodriguez, also giving out beautiful information, and I can't wait for his information to come out. And we got some collaboration coming out soon that's going to shock a lot of people, and it's going to be amazing. Rion, this path is
I feel it.
for gladiators, and
bro,
help people out,
100%. So no, that's what we're all about here at Team Light. And dude, JP, bro, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on our show. For everyone out there on planet Earth, I'll see you guys at the conference. All right. Till next time. Peace.
JP out.
Thor! We need your help to win this battle. Let's go.
Come on, Snowman. Back to work.
Let's hurry, okay? People are dying. See you down there.
All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my house. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do